The Three Little Pigs. Three little pigs build houses. One pig builds a house of grass. One pig builds a house of sticks. One pig builds a house of bricks. One day, a wolf comes. He says, "Hello, little pig." The first little pig is scared. He runs into his house of grass. The wolf knocks on the door. He says, "Come out, little pig." The first little pig says, "No." The wolf says, "I can blow your house down." Then he blows as hard as he can. The grass house falls down. The first little pig runs away. The wolf follows the first little pig. The pig runs to his brother's stick house. He yells, "Let me in! A wolf is coming!" His brother lets him in. The wolf knocks on the door. He says, "Come out, little pigs." The pigs in the stick house both say, "No!" The wolf says, "I can blow your house down." Then he blows as hard as he can. The stick house falls down. The little pigs run away. The wolf follows the little pigs. The pigs run to the third little pig's brick house. They yell, "Let us in! A wolf is coming!" Their brother lets them in. The wolf knocks on the door. He says, "Come out, little pigs!" The three pigs in the brick house all say, "No!" The wolf says, "I can blow your house down." Then he blows as hard as he can. The brick house does not fall down. The pigs laugh. They say to the wolf, "You can't blow down a brick house!" The wolf is angry. The wolf has an idea. He goes onto the roof of the house. The third little pig sees the wolf. The pig runs into the house. He says,
Quick! Let's make a fire!
The wolf falls into the fire and burns his tail. The wolf yells, Ouch! Ouch! He runs out of the brick house. The pigs laugh and sing,
We are not afraid of the big bad wolf. We are not afraid of the big bad wolf. La 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 la.
Jack and the Magic Beans.
Jack and his mother are poor. Jack's mother says, Jack, sell our cow, then we can buy food. Jack gets the cow. He walks with her down the road. Jack meets an old man. The old man asks,
Where are you going?
Jack says,
I am going to town. I need to sell this cow.
The man says,
I will buy her. Here are 5 magic beans.
The old man says,
Go home and put these beans in your garden. Tomorrow you will have a giant bean plant.
Jack runs home with the magic beans. His mother is angry. She throws the beans out the window. Jack goes to bed without dinner. In the morning, Jack looks out the window. He sees a giant bean plant. Jack climbs the plant. He climbs up and up and up. In the clouds, he sees a big house. Jack goes to the house. Jack knocks on the door. A giant woman opens the door.
A boy?
She says.
Hello,
Says Jack.
I didn't eat breakfast. Can you give me some food?
The woman looks worried. She says,
My husband eats boys. Hide in this pot. I will give you some food.
Jack hides. Then he hears the woman's husband come home.
I smell a boy,
Her husband says. The woman says,
You just smell the boy from last night's dinner. Sit down, eat your breakfast.
The giant eats. Then he puts a bag of gold on the table. He counts the gold. When he gets tired, he goes to bed for a nap. Jack comes out of the pot. He takes some of the gold. Then he runs to the bean plant. Jack climbs down and down and down. Jack gives the gold to his mother. Jack and his mother are happy. But later, Jack thinks about the house in the clouds. One day, he goes back up the bean plant. He goes to the house in the clouds and knocks on the door. The giant's wife opens the door. "You again," she says. "You took my husband's gold. What do you want?" "Well," Jack says, "I was..." Then they hear the giant. "Quick, hide," says the giant's wife.
"I smell a boy,"
the giant says. His wife says, "You just smell the boy from this morning's breakfast. Sit down, eat your lunch." The giant eats. Then he gets his special goose. It lays gold eggs. He watches the goose. When he gets tired, he takes a nap. Jack takes the goose. Then he runs to the bean plant. Jack climbs down and down and down. Jack gives the goose to his mother. Jack and his mother are happy. But later, Jack thinks about the house in the clouds again. He goes back up the bean plant. But he does not go into the house. He hides outside the house. The giant and his wife are in the house. The giant says,
"I smell a boy."
The giant's wife says, "It's the little thief. Let's find him." They look for Jack, but they can't find him. The giant is tired. He says,
"Wife, bring my harp. I want it to sing. Then I can sleep."
The giant's wife brings the harp. The harp sings. Soon the giant is sleeping. Jack goes into the house. He takes the harp. Then he runs. The harp yells, "Help!" The giant wakes up. He runs after Jack. Jack runs to the bean plant. He climbs down and down and down. The giant starts to climb down the bean plant. Jack gets his axe. He cuts the bean plant. The giant falls and dies. Jack gives his mother the harp. From then on, they give shows with the harp. They also sell gold eggs. Jack and his mother get rich. Jack marries a princess, and they live happily ever after.
Pinocchio.
Chapter 1. The Puppet. Geppetto finds a piece of wood in the forest. He takes it home. He begins to cut it, but a voice in the wood says, "Don't hurt me!" Geppetto says,
I will make a boy puppet. I will call you Pinocchio.
Geppetto makes the face of the puppet. He makes the eyes. They look at him. He makes the nose. It grows very long. He makes the mouth. It laughs at him. He makes the arms and legs. The puppet runs out the door. Geppetto chases the puppet. A policeman on the street sees Geppetto chasing the puppet. He grabs the puppet by its long nose. He gives the puppet back to Geppetto. Geppetto is very angry. He says,
Just wait until we get home, Pinocchio.
The policeman thinks Pinocchio is a little boy. He thinks Geppetto will hurt the boy. He makes Geppetto let Pinocchio go. Then the policeman takes Geppetto to jail. Chapter 2. The Cricket. Pinocchio runs home. He goes into the empty house. Pinocchio sits on the floor. He feels something in his stomach. He is hungry. He looks all around the house, but he can't find any food. Then he hears a noise. Pinocchio asks, "Who is there?" A cricket says, "It is me. I want to tell you something." Pinocchio asks, "What is it?" The cricket says, "Little boys who do not listen to their parents get into a lot of trouble." Pinocchio is mad at the cricket. He throws a hammer at it, and the cricket runs away. Pinocchio sits by the fire. It is warm, so he puts his feet up. Soon he falls asleep. During the night, the fire slowly burns his wooden feet to ashes. In the morning, Geppetto comes home. He is sad to see Pinocchio's legs with no feet. He makes 2 new feet for Pinocchio. Pinocchio says, "I want to go to school, Father. Then I can be a good son. But I don't have an ABC book." So, Geppetto sells his coat to buy a book for Pinocchio. Pinocchio is very happy. puppet show. On the way to school the next day, Pinocchio sees a puppet show. He sells his ABC book to buy a ticket for the show. The puppets on the stage see Pinocchio. They ask him to come on to the stage. The audience is angry. Fire Eater, the man who owns the puppet show, comes out.
What is going on?
He yells. He sees Pinocchio and says,
You are making trouble. Stay on the wall and we'll talk about this tonight.
Then Fire Eater hangs Pinocchio on a nail on the wall. That night, Fire Eater cooks dinner. But he needs more wood for the fire. He looks at Pinocchio and says,
I can use you in my fire.
Pinocchio remembers the night his feet burned to ashes. He begs for his life.
Please, don't put me in the fire!
Pinocchio cries. Fire Eater has pity and says,
All right, I'll use another puppet in my fire.
But Pinocchio is now friends with the other puppets. He does not want to see one of them burned. He says,
Please, sir, don't hurt any of them. I will go into the fire.
Fire Eater says,
You are very brave, little puppet. Here are 5 gold coins. In the morning, take them with you and go home. I won't burn any puppets tonight. I will eat my dinner half-cooked.
And the next morning, Pinocchio starts for home. Chapter 4. Robbers. The puppet walks all day. That night, Pinocchio meets 2 robbers. Pinocchio is afraid. He quickly puts his gold coins in his mouth.
Give us your money,
says one of them.
Give us your money,
says the other. Pinocchio can't speak because he has the coins in his mouth. The robbers pick up Pinocchio and take him into the woods. They find a big tree. One robber says,
We will hang you here until you give us your money.
They hang Pinocchio in the tree, but he kicks to free himself for hours and hours. Finally, the robbers get bored. One robber says,
We'll come back in the morning.
Then the robbers leave. Far away, Pinocchio can see a small white house between the trees. Pinocchio takes the coins out of his mouth. He puts them in his pocket. Then he yells for help. At the house, a fairy with blue hair looks out a window. She sees Pinocchio hanging in the tree. She brings the puppet back to her house and takes care of him until morning. Chapter 5. The Blue Fairy. Pinocchio tells the fairy his story. She asks him about his gold coins. They are in his pocket, but he lies to her. He says, "I lost them." Then Pinocchio's nose grows very long. The fairy says,
You're lying, silly boy. Lying makes your nose grow.
Pinocchio's nose is too long. It hits things when he moves his head. The fairy calls some woodpeckers. They make Pinocchio's nose short again. Pinocchio tells the fairy, "I love you." The fairy says,
I love you too. Live here as my little brother. Go and bring your father.
Pinocchio says he will, and leaves the fairy's house. On the road, Pinocchio meets a fox and a cat. They were the robbers, but Pinocchio does not know it. The fox hears the gold coins in the puppet's pocket. The fox has an idea. The fox says,
When a person plants a coin in the ground, a money tree grows.
Pinocchio says,
A money tree? Really?
The fox says,
Let me show you.
The fox tells Pinocchio to dig a hole and put his coins in it. Then Pinocchio fills the hole with dirt and puts some water on it.
Now,
says the fox,
go away and wait for 20 minutes. Then come back to see your money tree.
Pinocchio goes away. He is very excited. But when he returns, there is no tree, and he can't find his coins in the ground. Pinocchio goes to a town close to there. He tells a policeman that a fox and a cat tricked him.
I have no money,
Pinocchio tells the policeman.
You have no money?
The policeman says. He takes Pinocchio by the arm.
People with no money make trouble. You must go to jail.
Pinocchio stays in jail for many months. Then, during a festival, everyone in jail is set free. So Pinocchio sets off for home. Chapter 6. Playtime Land. On his way home, Pinocchio meets a bird. The bird asks,
Are you Pinocchio?
Pinocchio says,
Yes. How do you know my name?
The bird says he knows all about Pinocchio. He knows the blue fairy is gone because her little brother never came home. He also knows Geppetto is going across the sea to look for the little puppet. Pinocchio is worried about Geppetto. He tells the bird,
I must find my father.
The bird says,
Get on my back. I will help you find him.
Pinocchio rides on the bird. They fly to the sea. They fly to an island. The blue fairy lives there. They are both happy to see each other. Pinocchio lives with her and promises to be good. He even starts school. At school, he meets a boy named Lampwick. Lampwick doesn't like to study. One day, he tells Pinocchio about Playtime Land. Lampwick says,
I am going there tonight. Nobody studies there. Every day is a vacation. Do you want to come?
Pinocchio thinks it sounds wonderful. A donkey cart arrives, and both boys get in. In Playtime Land, Pinocchio and Lampwick enjoy themselves. They meet lots of other boys, and they play all day. Pinocchio says,
What a beautiful life! See, I was right,
says Lampwick. Then, one day, Lampwick wakes up with donkey ears. Pinocchio has them too. A mouse tells them,
You have donkey fever. All boys who only play and never study turn into donkeys.
A few minutes later, both boys turn into donkeys. Chapter 7. The Whale. The man from the donkey cart comes. He sees that the two boys are now donkeys. He takes them to town and sells them. The man sells one donkey to a farmer. That donkey is Lampwick. He sells the other donkey to a man who makes drums. That donkey is Pinocchio. The drum maker wants to use the donkey's skin to make a drum. But first, he must kill the donkey. The man ties a rope onto Pinocchio and throws him into the sea. In the sea, many fish come. They begin to eat the donkey. They eat all the meat off. Only the puppet is left inside. Pinocchio swims away. But as he is swimming, a whale comes and swallows him. Inside the whale, it is very dark. Pinocchio sees a tiny light. He walks to the light and he finds his father. Pinocchio says,
Father, I found you! How long have you been here?
Geppetto says,
I have been here for 2 years. We must get out of here,
says Pinocchio. He takes his father by the hand. They walk up the whale's throat to its mouth. The whale is old, so it sleeps with its mouth open. Pinocchio and Geppetto climb over the whale's teeth and jump into the sea. Geppetto rides on the puppet's back as Pinocchio swims for land. Chapter 8. A Real Boy. Pinocchio swims to land. His father is weak and tired. Pinocchio finds a house and goes inside. He does not see anyone, so he asks, "Is anyone here?"
I am here,
says a cricket.
My dear cricket,
Says Pinocchio. The cricket says,
"Now I am your dear cricket? You try to hit me with a hammer."
you are right, cricket.
Pinocchio says.
You can send me away, but please, let my father stay.
The kind cricket says.
You can both stay.
Pinocchio asks,
Where did you get this nice house?
The cricket says.
A blue fairy gave it to me.
When will she come back?
The puppet asks.
Never.
Says the cricket. Pinocchio is sad to hear this. Pinocchio works hard to help his father. Every day, Pinocchio works for a farmer to get 1 glass of milk for his father. After some time, Pinocchio also learns to make baskets. He also studies reading and writing. Pinocchio studies at night and works all day. One day, Pinocchio goes to town to buy new clothes. On the way, he learns from a friend that the blue fairy is sick. Pinocchio gives 4 coins in his pocket to the friend. He says,
Use these to help my fairy. In a few days, I will give you more.
That night, Pinocchio has a dream about the fairy. When he wakes up, he is a real boy. Pinocchio looks around the house. It is also different. He and his father now live in a nice house, and they both have nice clothes. Geppetto tells Pinocchio,
This is your reward. When boys try to be good, it changes everything.
Pinocchio tells his father,
How funny I was when I was a puppet. But how glad I am to be a real boy.
Beauty and the Beast.
Chapter 1. Riches to Rags. There was a good, wealthy merchant with 3 sons and 3 daughters. The merchant's daughters were beautiful. The youngest was called Beauty. Beauty was beautiful on the inside and on the outside. She was never unkind to anyone. Her sisters were different. They were beautiful on the outside, but not on the inside. They went to parties every day. They laughed at Beauty because she didn't go to these parties. Suddenly, the merchant lost his wealth. The family was poor. They had to move to a house in the country. They had to find work. Beauty, her father, and brothers worked hard. The men worked all day on the farm. Beauty kept the house. She also read books and played music for the family. However, her sisters did not know what to do. They slept late every day. They only thought,
Life is terrible. We are poor.
They thought Beauty was stupid to be happy. Chapter 2. The Strange Palace. One day, the merchant was told that a ship had come. It carried goods for him. The family would have money again. The two eldest daughters asked their father to buy expensive things. They wanted new dresses and shoes. Beauty's father asked Beauty what she wanted. Beauty said, "Just a rose. That is all I want, Father." Beauty really wanted nothing, but if she asked for nothing, her sisters would be mad. That would make them look bad. Beauty's father went to collect his goods from the ship. However, there was a problem. Beauty's father could not get the goods. He had to return home as poor as before. On the way home, the merchant became lost. It rained and snowed. A strong wind blew him from his horse twice. He thought he would die. Then the merchant saw some lights. They were from a palace. At the palace, the merchant discovered a barn. He put his horse there. Then he hurried to the palace door. He called out, but no one came. The merchant went into the palace. He found a magnificent room. A huge fire was burning. There was a table of delicious food. He waited and waited, but no one appeared. He was very hungry. He helped himself to a delicious chicken and some wine. After eating, he decided to explore the palace. The merchant discovered a bedroom. A large, soft bed was in the room. The merchant got in the bed and went to sleep. Chapter 3. The Merchant and the Beast. Beauty's father woke the next morning. He was surprised to find magnificent new clothes. He was sure this was a kind fairy's palace. He looked out the window. There he saw beautiful flowers, not snow. He also found more delicious food in the room where he ate dinner. The merchant said to no one, "Thank you. You are a kind fairy." After eating, the merchant went to get his horse from the barn. On the way, he passed the most magnificent roses. Beauty had asked him for one rose. He picked one. Then he heard a great roar. An angry beast was running up to him. The beast roared.
You are taking my roses. I helped you. Then you do this in return?
The merchant fell to his knees.
My lord, please don't kill me. Your roses are so magnificent, I could not help myself. This one was a gift for my daughter.
The beast was interested in the merchant's daughter.
Send your daughter to me, said the beast. Then you will not die. If she refuses, you must return. Do you agree?
The beast asked. Beauty's father agreed. He got his horse and went home. Chapter 4. Beauty and the Beast. Arriving home, Beauty's father gave Beauty the magnificent rose. Then he told his family about the beast. Beauty's two sisters became angry at Beauty. They said their father would die because of the rose. Beauty promised that their father would live. Beauty said, "I will go. I will give my life to save our father." Beauty's sisters were happy. They were happy that Beauty was giving herself to the beast. Beauty's father was crazy with grief. Finally, the day came to return to the beast's palace. Beauty's sisters cried. However, they were not really sad for Beauty. Beauty was sad to leave, but she did not cry. She did not want her family to worry. Beauty and her father traveled together to the beast's palace. When they got there, they went into the palace's huge hall. Then they heard the beast's loud roar. Beauty was afraid. When the beast came into the room, she was more afraid. Beauty told the beast that she came willingly. The beast thanked the merchant for his honesty. He let Beauty spend one last night with her beloved father. Chapter 5. The Queen of the Palace. The next morning, Beauty's father cried as he left. When her father was gone, Beauty cried too. Then she decided to stop crying. Crying did not help. Beauty explored the palace. She was surprised to find a door with a sign. It said, "Beauty's Room." She opened the door. Inside, she discovered a library. Beauty opened a book. Inside were words written in gold. The words said, "Do not be afraid, Beauty. You are the queen here. Wish for anything. You will get it." Beauty closed the book. She said to herself, "I have a single wish. I wish to see my father." A looking-glass appeared. She saw her family's cottage in the glass. She saw her father. He looked very sad. She saw her two sisters. They looked happy. Beauty's sisters were happy. They were happy Beauty was gone. Chapter 6. The Gold Ring. At dinner, there were candles on the table. All of the food was delicious. Beauty agreed to dine with the Beast. The Beast asked Beauty,
Am I ugly to you?
Beauty did not want to lie. She told him, You are kind. Then he asked,
Beauty, will you marry me?
Beauty quickly answered, No. The Beast left. Months passed. Beauty and the Beast dined together each evening. Beauty came to like the Beast. Every night, the Beast asked Beauty to marry him. Her answer was always no. Finally, he asked her to promise never to leave him. She promised. However, she first had to see her father again. Beauty promised to return in 1 week. The Beast was unhappy, but he agreed to let Beauty visit her beloved father. The Beast gave Beauty a gold ring. The magic ring would take her to her father. Later, it would bring her back to the Beast. That night, Beauty put on the ring. In the morning, she woke up in her father's house. Her father was so happy. That night, Beauty dressed herself in a magnificent dress from the Beast's palace. She dined with her sisters. Beauty's sisters were unhappily married. They saw how beautiful and happy Beauty was. The sisters decided to try and keep Beauty at home for more than 1 week. They hoped that the Beast would eat her for breaking her word. They began to be very kind to Beauty. Beauty agreed to stay more than a week. Chapter 7. Beauty and the Prince. Beauty put on the magic gold ring. She went back to sleep. Beauty woke up at the palace. She dressed in her most magnificent clothes. She waited at the table to dine with the Beast. The Beast did not appear. Beauty looked everywhere in the palace. She finally found the beast. However, he appeared to be dead. Then he spoke in a gentle, loving voice.
My life is nothing without you. When you did not return, I stopped eating. Without you, I want to die.
I love you, Beauty said. Please don't die. Live and marry me. I beg you. Then music started to play. There was a strange light. Suddenly, the beast was gone. Standing before Beauty was a handsome prince. The prince said,
You saved me, Beauty. A wicked fairy turned me into the beast. To become a prince again, a beautiful woman had to agree to marry me.
The prince took Beauty to his real palace. They got married. They lived together happily in the palace for many years.